And what's up, everybody? We're trying to get our guest on here. So without that being due, we all know what's going on here tonight, Doobie. We got Doobie over here in a game of Sicilian defense with the neighbor across the street, not letting him set up and do proper time. And there we go. We got some guys here with us. I tell you what, folks, we got ourselves a live one here tonight. Weekend kickoff party. Tony Lane here with the Dude Network, and we got the original dude of us all here. We got Doobie from Doobie Smokehouse over in Sicilian defense against in border wars with the Chess Patrol Brigade of Albuquerque. But we do have some sponsors here tonight. We're going to give them a quick shout out here before we get right down to it. Definitely should have had some music playing, Doobie. I think we can still talk all this. They can hear us. So Branch Barbecue. Right. Yeah, we know we love Branch, man. Come on. Branch to the bell.
Can't go wrong with Branch.
Can't go wrong with Branch. And we got Frickson Family Farms. We all know, we all love them. Dakota, Minnesota. Big town feels, small town deals. And then we got Jerk Competition Charcoal. Burns clean, burns long. Are you Team Jerk? If not, well, then you're a loser. Change it up. And then we have another special one tonight. We have a special coupon code here for today.
Hello, everybody. Redneck Chef Boudreaux here. We're excited to be part of the Dude Network, and we're glad you're joining us. And hey, for our Dude Network members, we're giving 20% off all orders from now through the end of April. That's coupon code DUDENET for 20% off. That's DUDENET for 20% off all your orders.
Woo! And with that,
right.
I mean, that's big time. We got 20% off, and none of that 10% stuff tonight. We got 20% off. But hey, again, no one should see us, Doobie. This is where we just shut our mouths and just get right down to the nitty gritty of it, right?
I'd say it's about that time, man.
I'd say it's about that time. So without further ado, looks like we got a bonus tonight, as a matter of fact. We have friend of show, part of Jack's Old South team, Bill Wheeler. But of course, the winningest man of all of Mother Effing Barbecue. The man, the myth, the barbecue god, as some would call him. I'm just going to keep going, and if he has red cheeks when he comes on screen, that's even better. Without further ado, the mayor and the commander of Unadilla, Georgia, Myron Mixon.
Good to see y'all guys.
Hey, cheers, brother. How
you doing tonight, man?
Doing better now.
All right. What are you sipping on?
Wow.
Right here, I got a Cabo and Añejo. Just there.
All right.
Cabo tequila, soaked in about 9 months in an oak barrel.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Hey, anything aged in an oak, aged in an oak barrel, sign me up. I can tell you that. Speaking of which, Myron, do you like peach or pineapple more?
Well, like what?
Peach or pineapple more? Which one?
Probably mint because I'm sitting next to a pear or pineapple.
Pineapple. All right. Well, tonight's Moonshine's brought to you by BBQ. We got some James BBQ pineapple right here. Cheers, fellas. I know you know a thing or two about that down in the big Georgia.
Yeah, we do.
Woo! Thank you, Grubbs, for that one. So how we doing? Now the carbon's blowed out. I'm ready now, boys. I'm ready. So, hey, barbecue school this weekend, right? Big deal.
Right. We just got through doing our meet and greet dinner tonight. So I come back in the house, and it lasted about 2 hours. And they'll all be back in the morning at 9:30 to start the class off.
Nice. I see you got your bodyguard with you.
Good time.
Got my bodyguard with me to keep them back.
I thought we got the junkyard dog over there, Bill Wheeler.
He's ready to take on anybody.
He's ready to take it on. One way. It's one straight crooked look, and you're done with Bill. I can tell you that right now. So how many students normally do you have at your classes for the weekend?
the classes we do, my regular class, we do 65 students.
Wow.
And, it's all hands-on. Starts, we do the meet and greet dinner from 7 o'clock until about 8:30, 6:30 to 8:30. And in the morning, the class starts at 9:30 to get through tomorrow night, probably about 8 o'clock with the dinner tomorrow night. Start back at 8 o'clock Sunday, and we'll be through about 1:30 Sunday afternoon.
How epic are the dinners at Myron Mixon Barbecue School?
Well,
I mean,
tonight's pretty,
gotta be
this is
high.
what we've always done. My brother Tracy, we do fried chicken tonight. We do fried catfish, homemade coleslaw, hand-cut fries, homemade banana pudding. It's like last bite of fried food before we get into the weekend, because they won't have any more of that. Tomorrow night will be all the food they prep tomorrow, except for the brisket and the butts and the whole hog, of course, and all that comes off the next day.
Nice. That's quite the lineup, man.
Fried catfish.
I mean, fried catfish. I mean, that's like a staple right there. You can't go wrong with that.
Fried
I'm here
chicken,
in New
my
Mexico,
favorite food.
so you don't get that good very often.
They get diaper trout in New Mexico. That's the word on it. They have trout swimming in diaper-filled ponds over in New Mexico. Can you believe that, Myron?
Tilapia. I ain't never seen anybody post on Facebook a string of tilapia.
Nope.
They should. They should. Hey, we're going to do that.
That's the
We're
reason for
going to
bait.
make a trend. We're going to trend this thing. We're going to do tilapia. Imagine
The
the
tilapia challenge.
I think it would be easy to get
We probably eat a lot more tilapia at seafood places than you realize.
Yeah, I don't doubt
They
that.
probably call it like snapper, flounder, a lot of other stuff.
Yeah. It's like
They doctor it up a little
if
bit.
it don't have white
Sucker you in.
if it don't have white, big, chunky white flakes, then you know that shit's tilapia, unless it's
Oh man.
So let's talk about fried catfish here for a second. I think that's like a little different pace from the typical barbecue talk here. We're not asking for all the secrets, but like what's a little something that you might do different from your fried catfish? How do you do your fried catfish? Do you
Well, the fried catfish,
cornmeal?
my brother's got his own, and I know what's in it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'd have to fight his ass. We're too old to be doing that.
Bill's
But
got him.
doing fried catfish, we do fillets, and it's the same thing if you're doing whole fish too. The key to it, all your best ones are going to be a crispy outside, but the inside is cooked. And I mean, not cooked, dried out like eating a chip, but where it's got some moisture in it, but also it's not runny. You know, nobody wants fried catfish where it's got a lot of moisture still stuck in it. You want it moist, but it's almost like what you talked about a while ago. You want it flaking. You want it to flake. Same way with salmon. I want my salmon cooked. I don't want it overcooked, but I like for it to flake.
Right.
Yeah, salmon. Salmon's my go-to. I mean,
The key to good fried catfish is running your grease consistent on the temp. Of course, we got deep fryers, thermostat control. We're running at 350 degrees, but a lot of people, and I do it all the time. If we're like on the riverbank or whatever, you got your little kettle out there. You need to have your grease thermometer stuck over in there, watching and monitoring, and not letting your grease cool and then get hot, cool, getting hot. That's how you wind up burning.
Yeah. Oh man. Up here in Ohio, channel catfish is like the third most popular, I think, protein up here in these parts. So you got walleye, then bluegill, then catfish. The key is you got to snap.
I love brim. That's probably my favorite brim. A lot sweeter fish.
Yeah. Yep. That's good stuff. Yeah, up here, crappie's a big deal too. Oh yeah, love a good seafood. So, when did you start doing the barbecue class? I know this has been going on for quite some time, but how long exactly have you been doing this? And do you know roughly how many people now have come through it?
I started in 2005, and we have, through my regular class, not counting private classes I do or the team building I do for corporate business. And we also do a memories class, barbecue memories, where we cook on the masonry pits. But I run probably 7,000 students a year, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe a little more.
A lot of
Big
meat.
number.
That's a lot of meat.
A lot of meat. Each class, we do over 800 pounds of protein.
Golly. Now, how much of that
protein.
is a hog? You do a whole hog, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the hog weighs 168 pounds, and you got briskets. Then you got butts, you got ribs, you got beef and pork ribs, you got pork loin, you got chicken, you got turkeys.
That's
a lot of meat.
That's a good weekend right there.
And
the cool thing about it is, doing the class is, what we don't eat during the class, we bag it all up for them to take home when they leave the class.
Yeah, that's going to people carry on. That's going to people's carry on. Like they're like, listen,
you can carry it on. I mean, I tell people all the time, and we'll do it tomorrow. I'll tell them if you're staying in Perry, Georgia, which is 9 miles north of us, Unadilla doesn't have a lot of variety of hotels, but they do have Walmart in Perry to get you a little cooler, a little rollable cooler, because you can take it on. You can check it. Bring it in with you sit on the plane.
Wow.
I dare someone to try to take it from me. I'd be like, listen, who meat this is? Do not touch
I can see right now you would be one of them they turn the plane around on and arrest your ass when they got back there.
I'm telling you right now, I'd put on a damn record of eating a bag of meat in about 0.2 of a second, or I'd be sitting there taking out 10 TSA agents while I was eating the bag of protein in about 0.2 seconds.
I just want to know
that shakes out.
TSA agents or any other federal agency, I do not condone what he just said.
Hey, Bill knows I drive my ass around. I don't get in them damn death traps. I drive.
Oh man, all I know is whenever you do it, just give me a heads up so I can go live on this end, so we can make sure we at least go viral.
We're streaming. We're going live. We're going to go live, and it'll be the last time we go live. But we're going out on top. So Myron, you just named off all the proteins. Is there one that you just cringe at? You've cringed at? There's one that's like, I'm sure you're good at cooking all of them, but there's the one you're just like, God bless it, I ain't doing that again. I hate it.
For me, the hardest one to stay consistent at is chicken right now, because not getting it moist, not getting it tender, not getting bite through skin is, I feel like the flavor profiles on chicken changes quicker than anything else. Like on what is hot now, but I think chicken is the hardest as far as picking the right flavor. In the day, all your competitions now, everybody competing, you got cookbooks, you got internet, you got classes. Everybody can get whatever product it is done. They get it moist, they get it tender, they can cook it to perfection. Then it gets to be a sauce contest, flavor contest. And you just got to pick whatever or figure out whatever or get lucky and do it, have the right flavor for the judges.
Myron, you've been lucky your whole career, haven't you?
I've been very lucky.
No skill whatsoever.
Do what?
I said no skill whatsoever, just nothing but luck, right?
That's exactly right.
Oh, hey, lucky works. Lucky works. That's how I got my wife. I mean,
when did you start competing? Like, when was your first competition?
I started competing in 1996.
Okay.
Started competing in 96. My dad had a takeout barbecue business. Now, I started helping him when I was 9 years old. And it wasn't because I wanted to. He made me and my brother tote, fetch, go get. And the way we learned was shoveling coals. That memories class I was telling you about that I do 2 times a year, I only take 15 students in that class. And it's cooking on replicas of his pits. And that's where you burn the wood down, shovel the coals. You got to do fire management. You actually got to be a damn pit master to cook that way. But it's also very hard in the fact, getting the wood up, splitting wood, sitting up with it, doing that style of cooking. And that's why you don't see anybody opening restaurants up doing that style of cooking. Oh, yeah, you got people that go out and build a damn little brick, whatever, if they got a big enough space out there where they might have some sausages and stuff on, but they got damn gas rotisseries in the back doing the majority of the cooking.
So gas rotisseries are bad. Okay, got it.
I got 2 restaurants. I got one in Hoboken, New Jersey. We just opened up. Got ours in Alexandria. This will be our 5th year right now. We run stick burners, my H2Os, my water cookers. No gas assists on them. I want to make sure they're cooking with wood. I'm just telling you facts. Everybody knows this. Even the people that own them may do it. But if you got gas assist on there and you tell your employees you want to make sure put some wood along there with it, when your ass goes home, let me tell you what they're going to let it happen. They're going to cook with gas. They ain't toting no more damn wood while you gone.
That's a fair point. Hey,
just put it out. Keep it real.
People. He knows people, ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes. He knows people. He knows.
And I probably would be the same person. I mean, if I was working with somebody and it was snowing and raining outside and the wood was stored out there in the shed, shit, I wouldn't want to go out there either. So the way to eliminate that is you don't have an option to cook with gas.
Right.
You got to cook with wood or it ain't going to get done.
What's the saying? When the cat's away, the mouse will play?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So we're talking about wood there a little bit, and we got some nice questions coming in from some people here, and we actually have one on the wood here from our good friend Nombre Carlos. Shut up.
Tony, Doobie, appreciate it. Myron, great honor. Question for you: when it comes to smoking, what is your favorite type of wood to be smoking with, and do you use that wood with every single cut of meat? I appreciate it. Thanks.
My favorite type of wood, I mean, for back in the day when I was competing all the time, I used to do, for 15 years, I did 45 contests a year. Have done over 45, but 45 was about the average. And for those, majority of those 15 years, I cooked strictly with peach wood, Georgia peach. That's all I ever cooked with. But it started getting harder and harder to get, very hard to get now. It's hard to put your hands on it. And then I gravitated more to like blending some peach wood and cooking with pecan. I love pecan. Pecan's awesome. Right here at my compound where we teach classes, I got 12 acres. I probably got 75 trees that are over 100 years old. So they're constantly dropping big limbs out in the orchard. We're always cutting them up, splitting them. The key to cooking with hardwoods, and I'm going to tell you about hardwoods like pecan, hickory, oak, is about the moisture content. And I know it's hard to do. Optimum moisture content of wood needs to be around 23%, somewhere in that range. That's where it's not too dry. You still got some good moisture left in it, but it's not too green either. And unless you're actually cutting the trees down out of the forest yourself, it's hard to get a purveyor that's going to give you, you go to your wood purveyor and say, I want all my wood to be 23%. Well, he's probably going to look at you like you've lost your damn mind. You'll take what the hell I give you. But 23% is a good moisture content for barbecuing wood. And for comps now, it's a lot easier to do because you don't need as much wood to do a comp. So I see no problem if you got access to be able to cut your own wood, maybe even source it. Maybe you got a purveyor that, if he's cutting all the time. For me, let's just give, for instance, I got a big limb about like this, pecan limb, falls in my orchard tonight. Tomorrow we go out there and cut it up and I split it. I stack it and cover it. It will take about, depending on the time of year, but spring through the summer, it'll take about 45 days to 60 days to get it down to that 23%.
That's quick.
It don't take very long. I mean, really and truly, that's not very long in the scheme of letting it dry. Once it starts doing that, it starts dropping. And as long as you're in double digits, and what I mean by double digits, long as between 10 and 23, you still got some good wood. And when it drops on down, you still got good fuel. It's not going to hurt anything. You're just not going to get as much benefit from it when it stays at 23%. But I will tell you, especially with hickory wood, when you start burning hickory that starts getting past a year old, especially I know folks that burn it because they got it when it gets into the 2-year-old range, even though it's been dry and been kept. Then it starts, I don't know what happens to it, but it will smoke up your meat. When you start getting 2-year-old hickory, especially I know the hickory we got here. When you start burning that after a couple of years, all you got there is good for a damn fire pit. You don't want to put that under your meat.
Again,
talk about fruit wood. When I was burning peach wood all the time, I burned it green. I mean, like cut it down today, have leaves on the damn stuff, and I was burning it.
Okay.
The hardest part about that is because it is green, it's hard to keep it rolling. So even though I like to run, hot and fast, 275, 300, sometimes 325, but let's just say 275. At 275, I can look in that firebox and I got a good flame. And I really don't need a stick, but I know if I let that flame go all the way down, it's going to be harder to catch that other green stick up. So I go and I lay one on it, and I might have a bounce to 300, but it'll burn back. The reason for that, peach wood, particularly plum wood, even apple. but especially the plum and the peach. You got sugar saps in that fruit wood. Yep. And if you know what I'm talking about, it bubbles out whenever it's damaged by insects. You see where that bubbles out, crystallizes. Well, that's sap coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The sugar saps is what's beneficial by giving you a unique smoke flavor, a flavor profile that you can get only from those type fruit woods, and it's there when it's green. It's there when it's green. I've thrown a damn stick of wood several times on that, had a leaf sticking off a branch, a little short leaf, but that's how green it is. Did it for 15 years.
It makes sense though, because you're getting all the vapors of like the fruity, sappy vapors out of that then, right? It's like,
well, I can tell you this, nothing in the world has a flavor profile like peach wood if you cook it the way I'm telling you, but it's hard as hell to get. That's why you don't see. At one time we got our own line of pellets. Everybody knows that. We got our orchard blend, which is cherry, hickory, and oak. We got our cherry. We used to have a peach, and it was actually peach wood. You know, a lot of these damn companies out there, ain't gonna call no names. They're doing this damn spray and damn flavoring and all that. And I looked and I said, how the hell do you know what damn peach wood flavor tastes like? It ain't like a can of damn peaches. You know, but they're spraying it and calling it damn peach flavor, damn wood. But anyway, getting around that, we had peach wood pellets, but we didn't have a sustainable source. So it didn't take long, about a year and a half, we sold through that batch because it's hard to get the raw material.
Okay. Yeah. Now I can't get peach up here in Ohio, but my neighbor did just tell me he had a pear tree for me just cut down I could get. So I guess I want to smoke some pear.
Make sure it's a real fruit bearing pear tree, because Bradford pears, you don't want to burn that shit.
Yeah, up here. No, it is. Yeah, it's the right one that you used to like, the Barnett. You had the nice brown pears that came off of it there. But yeah, all right, good to know. Hell yeah. Hey, remember what I said about luck? All luck, because this guy doesn't know much. Obviously, he's pretty.
Well, I'm sure you got some of them sitting around there. I don't know what shit I'm talking about, burning damn peach wood. Green, been doing it for a long, long time, so they can kiss my ass.
They're called communists, Myron. They're called communists.
You heard it here first.
Hey! By the way, everybody go check out MyronMixon.com. Check out his sauces, rubs, support him. Like, I know, hey, the guy obviously knows what the hell he's talking about. You want the best, go get the best at Myron Mixon.
His pellet smokers. Hey, I got to give it to you. Those pellet smokers that you have are definitely the most bang I think you get for your buck out of any like bigger pellet smoker, for sure.
Let me tell you this, every one of my smokers, we build them in the USA. All components are USA. And I'm telling you the damn truth, our control panels on our pellet smokers, they are made in Alabama, right over here, one state over from me. That's where they come from. They ain't coming from over there, China.
Nope.
None of that.
Yeah, I like all your design. You definitely.
I challenge any of the rest of the big manufacturers of pellet cookers to say that shit. It ain't made in China.
And that's the bottom line, because Myron Mixon said so.
There are a few out there, but the majority ain't made in this country.
Yeah. I will say that I feel like ever since I've watched you and kind of followed you along, like since I don't know, probably like the first season of Pit Masters, I've kind of been keeping my eye on you a little bit. And I will say that you kind of set the standard as far as where, like, what to do or what to kind of base your game plan on for being successful. I mean, you've kind of created a whole market around yourself. You kind of have like the perfect TV personality for it. You're personable, all that stuff. I mean, you definitely, like, your website, when you go to your website, it's next level. You know what I mean? Everything that you do seems to be top notch. So, I mean, I feel like you definitely do a good job setting the standard as far as that goes, for sure.
Your website, yes. Go ahead. Starting in 1996, I'd have never would have dreamed I'd be here where I'm at today with the barbecue world. But the thing about it is I've always stayed in my lane. I don't ever deviate. I cook a great hamburger and I got recipes for them, and I'll do recipes for those. And I do great steaks and stuff, but you don't see me out promoting those things. I know how to cook pizzas on a smoker, but that ain't in my lane. You know, I make great spaghetti. I make all this kind of stuff, but I stay in my lane. I'm a barbecue man. You know, that's what I do.
Hey, Myron Mixon tomato sauce doesn't sound that bad. So you're talking about starting out at 96. Hey, we market everything, man. We'll put your name on the face of a ketchup bottle, bro. We got you. So speaking of like early goings here, one of our sponsors of the show tonight, Redneck Chef Boudreaux, actually had a really good question about your origins of barbecue. So we're gonna let him ask away here. He's a character. Okay. He's a good dude here. Check this guy out. I love him.
Hello, everybody. Redneck Chef Boudreaux here. Hey, thanks to the Dude Network for putting on such a great show. And Myron, thank you very much for your time tonight. I have a two-part question if I can, Myron. At about what age did you decide that barbecue was going to be your profession, and who were some of your earlier influences? Thank you in advance.
You're very welcome. When I started competing, I told you a while ago my background when my dad was take out barbecue business. I started at the age of 9, and it wasn't because I wanted to. He made me and my brother do it. And as I got older, you're always looking for, and I was, you want accolades from your dad. And the more older I got in teenage years, I started emulating him and following what he was actually doing. Then when I figured out he wasn't going to let me quit doing it because he liked the free labor, I started wanting to make him proud of him. You know, that's just natural, you know.
Yeah. And
I learned how to cook. And the way I learned how to cook, I consider the hardest way to learn. Shoveling coals, burning wood, fire management. My dad didn't have any gauges on them pits. They had 10 laying across them, and they hadn't have no damn meat thermometer. I didn't know what the hell a meat thermometer was until, you know, on in the game. When I first started competing, I didn't have one. It was all about feel, touch, knowing when meat was done by smell and sight. And I learned. I feel like the hardest way to barbecue, and the term gets used a lot, but they call it old school. And it's probably the way meat was being cooked for the last 150, 200 years before we started getting offsets and water cookers and gravities and everything else out there now. But starting to compete, my dad passed away in January 1996. I started competing in June of 96. So he never saw me compete. And if my dad, Jack Mixon, that's where the Jacksonville South comes from, you know, he probably put a foot in my ass for all the stuff I do now. Probably would have never allowed me to compete, even when I was a grown man, because I was scared of my daddy. You know, everybody talking, well, you don't need to be scared of your daddy. Well, I call scared being respectful. Yep. You know, I respected and was scared he'd kick my ass. That's kind of how it was. But the point is, when I did start competing, he wasn't around anymore. But when I started competing, I had gauges on my smokers. And, you know, I said, shit, this is easy now. I know how to this is easy. I ain't got to put my hand on, do a 10 count to be able to know it's time to fire the pits. And I'm using stick wood. I'm not having to burn wood down and get coals. But probably one of the bigger influences on me, and it wasn't really by giving me recipes and stuff like that, because I kind of figured that out on my own. Made a job out of it. I made it work. Probably was Pat Burke. Him and Mike Mills were Tower Rock. And Pat Burke showed me how to be a champion, how to carry yourself, how to tend to business. And, you know, it wasn't nothing wrong with having fun, but all that needed to happen Saturday after you done won the contest, not prior to and not during. And still one of my best friends today. Pat's probably 70s, pushing 80 maybe. Still gets around like better than I do, and I'm 59, and can still like cook anybody's ass that wants to get out there and try it. But that guy, Pat Burke, is probably, besides my dad, my barbecue hero.
Okay.
That's awesome.
From Murfreesboro, Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. Wow. Yeah. Who would have thought?
Murfreesboro, Illinois.
Not a state you would assume like that you get heard a lot of in the barbecue community. So good for him. That's awesome. Kind of like Ohio. No one likes Ohio barbecue. I'm just up here I'm like the Long Island boy up here. I'm just chilling. I am on Wabo Cabo Island or whatever the hell it is. I'm up here drinking all by my damn lonesome up here on Barbecue Island, Ohio, man. I'm telling you.
Well, last week with Bill, we got to see how those Ohio guys trim briskets. So.
Oh. Hey, Bill, true story. Guess who caught their smoker on fire later that night?
Ah!
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Mr. Tit Talker got a smoker on fire. Oh, I had it set and crooked. No.
Hey, no. Yeah, you know, it happens to the best of us sometimes. It's the recovery that made it. Like, not everybody can recover from that. I still ended up with all my meat perfect.
Myron, you ever caught your smoker on fire?
Have I ever caught a smoker on fire?
Yeah.
No, I ain't never caught a smoker on fire.
He said happens to the best of it. Hey, you heard it here first. It
Oh,
don't.
man.
It don't. You heard it from
I
the
tell you what, I
king,
have had though. The
himself.
smoker didn't. But when we first started building our water cookers, the stacks were in the walls here instead of up top, and they were here so the smoke would roll, go out and up, and they were like 8x8 square boxes tubed up. And the Crisco got up in the stacks right here. And I've had a fire in the stacks on the side right here. And all it done was burn the Crisco out, but I never got the pit itself on fire.
Yeah, see, my pit was sitting
Most of the time we
a
see
little
a pit
bit.
catch on fire, it's alcohol related.
See, mine was, I had my pit was sitting a little bit, let's see, this way.
What do
So
you
the
run,
grease-
pellets? Pellet cooker?
No, it's
Yeah.
a stick burner offset. So I had it like a little bit off level, too much this way.
And the
so
grease ran back.
the grease started running back into the firebox, and I had all my briskets wrapped up, and then the grease started to catch. And so I was like, oh,
I hate
shit.
it when that happens.
I was like, this is going to go bad if I don't do something. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to drain it out.
Mine, you said
I
alcohol.
started
was-
draining the grease, and when I started draining the grease, some of the briskets closest to the firebox that were wrapped, now all the butcher paper's soaked in the fat, right? So now the corners of the brisket paper are starting to catch on fire, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be a domino effect. So just not even thinking, I just pull them out, and I get my glove on, I pull the smoker out of the butcher paper, throw it on the prep table, it's a fresh butcher paper while it's still on fire, and put out the butcher paper, and then get the next one before it starts lighting up. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But none of the brisket paper.
We needed a
burned
damn
all the way
video
through.
of that shit.
I
show.
know. It was after
Oh
hours.
man. I mean, it was one of those times I was by myself. I'm pulling an all-nighter. You know, it's like 2 a.m, and I'm like, oh god, I'm tired. I'm gonna go check the fire.
Was you
And I'm
drinking?
looking. Huh?
Hey, yeah,
you drink-
Jimmy, hey, alcohol.
No,
was-
I wasn't
he
even
said
drinking.
Alcohol was involved. Tell him where you were set up at. Where was that at?
So I was set up in front of the brewery that I'm doing a pop-up at
brewery.
for the
Oh, a
next day.
brewery. Oh,
So
And
I
you wasn't
get-
drinking.
Yeah, I
No.
wasn't even drinking. That's
No,
the sad part. So I'm just chilling, and I'm
we
like
don't-
getting up. I'm kind of hanging out, and I'm looking at the fire, and I'm
Call
like,
bullshit on the drinking.
I'm calling double bullshit on the drinking.
oh man, there might have been like one beer, you know,
See
one
that? There
very
you go.
large beer, maybe.
One
But-
keg. One keg.
But yeah, so I'm looking, I'm like, it doesn't seem right, you know, like my fire's not that big, but there's too much fire in the firebox. I'm like, I don't have too much wood. The fire's good. It's burning clean. I'm like, it took me a good couple minutes to figure out that the grease was even dripping in there. I was just kind of like, this just isn't right, you know?
How much butcher paper did you burn up?
Like, I don't know, like the first layer on the outside, you know, like on the side close to the firebox. It was like that first little layer. Just
You could have won. You could have won those damn funniest videos with that damn. I guarantee you.
I know.
Dude,
I'm gonna
that's
start putting a time lapse camera just in the back of my little tent, so when shit like that happens, I can at least go back for the highlights. You know?
Dude, just remember, Myron Mixon's laughing at you, not with you in this instance here.
Oh man, I'll take it. At least I made him laugh.
Yeah. Speaking of a laugh one, we also with jerk charcoal here. I know Myron, you got some of this here to try here at some point. Regis had a question for you on the little bit of a humorous side about the recent Memphis and May championship here. It's a little hard of hearing, so you might have to, if you don't hear it, we'll repeat it.
Hey, Mr. Mixon. I'm Regis with Jerk Charcoal. My question for you today goes back to last year's Memphis and May Grand Championship. You invited Sam from Sam's Northwest Barbecue on your team, and you gained your 4th Grand Championship at Memphis in May. The last one before was 14 years earlier in 2007. Now, am I supposed to believe everything that Sam is saying, all the accolades he's claiming, or is there more to the story? Let me know. I think that's him on the other line.
Did you hear that, Myron?
No, repeat it for me.
He said, Sam, you brought down Sam from Northwest Barbecue, then you won for the first time in 14 years, and Sam's claiming all these accolades. Or is there any truth to those, or is there more to the story?
That's bullshit. I won it in 16 too.
There we go. You heard it here first. Bullshit. Sam and Northwest Barbecue. Bullshit with a B-O-O. Bullshit. That's what that is.
I feel like if you don't have haters, you're not doing it right.
There you go. We won it in 2016 also. So that's called bullshit to Sam. I love Sam, but, you know, Sam was there. He was there. We love Sam, but we don't want it with or without Sam.
You heard it here first, Sam. You got a participation trophy, just like all the other kids in 2022.
Are you doing any big competitions this year, Myron?
Yeah, we got one. Matter of fact, you know, Memphis May's coming up. It's always the second weekend in May. And we're doing a Memphis Barbecue Network, which is the same format, MBN. Excuse me, in Atoka, Tennessee. This coming up weekend after this one, we get done with the class. We'll be cooking hog, shoulders, and ribs. Same thing everybody's going to cook. Well, not every, you won't get to cook all three, but kind of like a tune-up. I mean, we cook hogs every month for the class, but it's a lot different doing your schedule, doing your timelines, you know, hitting your marks, making sure everything's right, especially for the hog. So we'll do Atoka, and then we're going to do South Haven, Mississippi. Same thing, the end of April. So we'll get 2 contests in before the World Championship.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to see how the Memphis in May goes.
Most you ever done in a year? Most comps you ever did in a year? Do you know?
Probably 49.
That's
You know,
like one every weekend except for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and New Year.
Yeah, I mean, and I know, and I'm not taking anything from the guys and gals that do it now, but I know a lot of them talk about 23 and 30 and all that shit. I mean, goddamn, we stayed in the truck seats and, you know, riding. And this was pre-damn enclosed trailer crap too. We had battle wagons, same thing we got now, where you can have judging going on your deck and all this kind of stuff. There wasn't no air conditioning units. We put up tents. We had funeral tents, but they were made, custom made, Jacksonville South on them, and everybody did. My first enclosed trailer, when was it, good Bill? Probably 2012, I had my first enclosed trailer with air conditioning and all. And I would never go back. But up until then, from 96 that forward, you know, I didn't have it. I used to make fun of people that came in their RVs and shit like, you know, the wusses, you know. Guess what? I'm a member of the wuss group. Now, I like my air conditioning and heaters.
You have to rename that thing to Dr. Quinn and Medicine Woman, Myron. Bunch of sissies in that thing. Just chilling out. No,
chilling out. I mean, I wouldn't go back. I ain't going to tell you I wouldn't, but I don't want to go back to now having air conditioning.
So
yeah, I'm here in New Mexico, and like the last couple of years off and on, me and my buddy did a food truck here and there, doing barbecue, doing little pop-ups and stuff. And he had like a 1965 Chevy aluminum step-side van that we converted into this food truck, right? And it had no AC, no nothing. And like we did an event in the summertime. It was like 100 degrees outside. It was like 115 on the line in the truck. You know, I mean, it was like, and that after that, I was like, I'd never been happier to go back to doing a tent setup, because at least you have airflow.
That's
right.
right.
Even on a hot day, at least the air's moving around you and you don't feel all congested and you're not
bumping
bumping up.
The thing about it is what I've noticed, and I ain't damn knocking on nobody. I know everybody wants what you want and you buy what you want. But, you know, one of the big pluses, the big draws in the day with SCA and other state cook-offs was, you know, you could throw a tent in the back of the truck and take your little grill and go show up Saturday morning, you know, do the grill off, the steak cook off, and you didn't have to have all these damn enclosed trailers. Shit. Some of these damn steak teams now, they got $100,000 damn rigs to go cook a damn ribeye.
I'm telling you, it ain't going to be me.
I'm a member. I'm a lifetime member of the SCA, and I love doing them. But I'm just saying, this is Myron talking. I ain't knocking or criticizing nobody. But if I'm going to spend that kind of money on a damn trailer, I'm cooking a hog some damn where. It ain't going to be no damn, you know, a 12-ounce ribeye.
Mm-hmm.
Can we all agree that when he says this is Myron talking, it's basically saying, like, listen to what the hell I'm talking about here.
I mean, I'll catch some shit.
Like, I don't mean any disrespect, but you know what's coming.
Damn air conditioning, but you ain't going to be there but damn 2 or 3 hours. Shit.
Oh man. Hey, do you still have that barbecue king shirt that you wore the first season of Pitmasters everywhere?
Yeah, I got it.
The king of barbecue. That was classic.
Oh man. So you've been on some shows. What was your favorite experience on television, Myron?
Favorite experience probably in Mesquite. First season, me and my wife were there cooking in Mesquite, Nevada. Won $10,000 at that contest cash.
The grand champion, right?
Make it damn rain hundreds.
Yep.
Dollar bills.
And I can tell y'all something. You talk about money. You know, the money today ain't consistently as good as it was back when I first started. I can tell you 96, forward into the 2000s, you know, a lot of the contests we were going to still paying cash. You still had, you know, $2,000 grands, $1,000 first. And hell, you ain't got that in the majority of them now. I mean, to get into anybody now, you didn't have the world food deal and all that crap. But back then, other than Memphis, it was the biggest pay. And even the Royal back then was $5,000 grands maybe. Back then, I think they're still 10. You know, you would think it'd be more than that than, you know, for that. And the Jack, 2,500 was the grand then. I think now they've got to 10.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, the money, considering what things cost compared, you make more money back then if you were winning than you do now. They ain't no damn
say the money then was
now
worth
with
more.
The price of shit. Can't do it.
Now 10 grand doesn't get you very far. You know, like back then 10 grand could get you a lot. You know, now 10 grand doesn't.
10 grand used to get you a brand new Ford Ranger right off.
We won Team of the Year for Memphis and May events 8 or 9 times. I can't remember which. And you didn't get nothing for winning Team of the Year. You just did it because you wanted to get it. About what you do now. I think KCB gives you something, but it ain't nowhere near damn what it costs you to stay in the truck seat or in the camper or whatever, you know, going and doing these things. And back then, and I'm going to say it because it's the same way NASCAR used to be back in the day, and it's before my time. But, you know, back then, anybody in the 60s and even going in the 70s, you had teams from all over could go compete in NASCAR because, I mean, anybody could win, you know, but not today. It ain't a poor man's game. And competitive barbecue, regardless of what it is, steak cooking, hog cooking, briskets, whatever, it costs some damn serious bucks to go do all this now. Whether you can or can't, you still can win with the tents and that kind of thing and pop-ups. But we all know how that works. Don't nobody want to get into this game unless they can have what their peers has. I mean, they don't give a shit. If I have to go mortgage a second mortgage on my home, they want them close to, and I don't blame them. I don't want to go out and not be as good as the man or woman beside me, you know? So it's done got to where, I mean, $100,000 rigs or more, you know, smokers ranging anywhere from $2,000 and up. I mean, it ain't cheap to do this. You got to love it. And you got to be willing, if you ain't, you know, didn't win the damn lottery, you got to make sacrifices and make it happen if that's what you want to do.
It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
I've been wanting to get into barbecue since like 2010 was when I was really trying to, I graduated high school and I was like, you know, I really want to get into barbecue because I grew up in my dad's barbecue restaurant, kind of doing that and helping out and making all the sides. And then when I was in like middle school, high school, he started having me run the pit and the line. And then me and him kind of had our falling out because I got tired of working for free and then started.
There's always that.
You know, there's always that.
That sounds like my story.
Yeah. Like, I'll pay you $6 an hour if you want to get paid. I'm like, and then he ended up, instead of paying me, he's like, you know what? Instead of giving you all your paychecks, I'm just going to buy you driver's ed. It's cool. I'm like, man, get out of here with that. So me and him kind of had our falling out. And then I kind of saved up. It took me a long time. I had a 1975 Dodge Ram Charger that I totally rebuilt the drivetrain on. I was restoring it. And I was like, you know, this truck's real nice, but I think the smoker would be a lot nicer right now. So I sold that and put the down payment on my pit and got that going, and here I am rolling. So
there's one thing consistent of
it's
this
been a long
show:
time coming.
nothing pays like a father's love. That's what we can agree on.
Whatever makes y'all sleep at night.
Hey, I grew up on a dairy farm, man. I was pulling tits when I was about crawling all around, man. I played more tits than anybody else.
What did you get paid?
Shit, I got to eat at night.
Let me tell you what, I was 15 years old. My dad had a sawmill too. And I ain't talking about one of these damn sawmiser bullshit, you know, with a little bandsaw and you set it up in the yard and run it. Had a double aught frick, which was built at the turn of the century from the 19th into the 20th. It had a 60-inch plus blade on it, and we could cut 80-foot stuff. And we done custom cutting on cypress. And we were down there working, me and my brother, side by side with all the hands that got paid. And I remember sitting up at the house one night eating supper. I said, Dad, I threw my brother in there with me too. Dad, me and Tracy feel like we ought to be getting what everybody else is getting. We're doing the same stuff.
How did that go?
Not good. He looked over at me. I thought he was going to slap my damn teeth out. But he looked over at me and he said, you are getting paid. Your ass is sitting under my table. The clothes I bought are on your back, and you sleeping under my damn roof. I said, yes, sir. Kept moving on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bottom line, that was it. End of discussion. There was no room for negotiation.
It wasn't no negotiating.
Hey,
my
man,
daddy didn't put up with this bullshit. He didn't give you time out and all that shit. He'd knock your ass out. He didn't.
That was recovery.
He didn't damn play all that shit or, oh, we can't damn spank little Jimmy because he's just expressing himself. Shit.
Yeah.
I
got the belt if I sassed off.
He beat you till his favorite thing was I'll beat you till I give out. He loved saying that shit, and he meant it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's just how it was. But no, speaking of Iron Fist, you know, and that's kind of, if I'm not mistaken, you are the Iron Fist of Unadilla, Georgia, and you've actually taken your mindset of your successful business practices, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've kind of taken that to your community here and helped out there. And what's it like being the mayor of a town? I'm
in my second term right now. I'll have to run again next year, but I'm in my second 4-year term. I ran in 2015, took office January of 16, and all the time was kind of in a mess financially and in some other areas, and we got all that turned around. We got money in the bank, did the things a city's supposed to be doing, upgrading our infrastructure, upgrading our streets, something that hadn't been done in the streets, especially in over 30 years. We're resurfacing streets, and we got a good little town. Hey,
Myron for president, 2024. Myron, let's go. The people need you.
Hey, I'm good at damn on being the mayor, but I'm not a damn miracle worker. We're going to have to wait for Jesus to come in here and save us.
Hey, you've said it yourself. You've been blessed with luck your entire life. That's how you've won all these competitions. So why
ain't that damn lucky? Not being president, I ain't that lucky.
There ain't no lucky bastard being a president anymore, man.
I wouldn't want the damn job.
Yeah, no.
What's it pay? $400K, $500K? Shit, no.
Yeah. We can all agree that I think there's a little bit more an asset worth.
If you're gonna do insider trading and all that bullshit,
yeah.
Buy,
the net worth always seems to go up more than $400,000 a year.
Companies.
That's politics talk here on the Dude Network. That's a first.
No, I'm just telling you the damn truth.
No, I get it. Hey,
I don't care which side of the aisle you walk on or in the middle of the damn aisle. I mean, shit, it's just fact. You go look and see what they've invested in. But I ain't just saying Democrats are doing it. Damn Republicans do it too.
Yeah, they all do it. It's equal.
They all do it.
Make American barbecue again. Myron 2024, barbecue by Johnsy. You got your campaign manager. You got Johnsy from Central California. Yeah, he's got a cool beard. You'll love him.
Hey, so, we got California in. That's half the battle, man.
It wouldn't be a show without a special guest. We always got to have a special question from a special person. And I know you're going to know this person, so we'll let them ask it.
Hey, Myron. I know you get asked this all the time, but what is your very favorite meat to cook? And do you actually eat barbecue?
She ain't from California.
No, she's not. She's from Noonan.
Noonan, Georgia.
Noonan.
I knew who that was.
I know you know who that was.
You kept telling me somebody from California finna come in there and talk to him. You knew who
No, I said a special guest. It was a separate conversation. She is definitely. She's probably going to kick my ass thinking that she got labeled.
Before I could tell who it was, I could damn hear that voice, and I knew that voice sounded like my voice as far as the twang to it. I knew.
No, she's not. Nobody named Johnsy. Tina Cannon is not somebody named Johnsy.
Exactly right. My favorite barbecue to cook. It's got to be whole hog. I mean, I won 5 world championships with it, cooking whole hog. I feel like I got that down pretty well to an art.
I'd say.
And talk about luck. That's probably the luckiest protein I got out there. But and the other part of the question about eating barbecue, the only time I eat it, and not a lot then, is when we're actually competing, building boxes, getting ready to do turn-ins. I let Good Bill, I let Ross, I let 40 Watt, Ed Harris, my son, Michael, Tracy, my brother, I let them taste. Especially Bill, if he's cooking with us. I respect their taste more than I do mine as far as going in the box. Because I'm like a lot of people that cook, and everybody's cooking. But after you've been around that smoke and stuff, everything starts tasting the damn same to me. And I've been around doing this stuff for a long time. I mean, with Dad with his takeout barbecue business, and when you talked about barbecue in the South, you talked about pork. And to me right now, my new fave, and I'm saying I've been eating it a while, is beef ribs. Still like the beef brisket. Still a fan of the chicken. But pork, something I just ain't. I mean, still good. I know when a good hog, and I like eating it when I take a couple of bites. But, hell, we ate pulled pork and pork ribs and all my life. I mean, all the time. I mean, that's what you ate. But beef ribs right now is probably one of my favorites.
Oh, man. Them dino ribs, I'm telling you, I'd rather cook them than brisket. And I'm new to the game. I've only been doing barbecue for about a year now, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing or talking about. But I do know I like the beef ribs.
Beef ribs are good now. I mean, and the hard thing for a lot of people to do is to get them tender, where you can pick them up and bite them, see how the bones stick. And I tell them all the time, I'll tell them tomorrow in class, because beef ribs will be one of the things that we do. If you got to put a knife and fork to it, other than you want to be dainty, but if you got to put a knife and fork to it, you might as well just cook the damn ribeye and cut it. I mean, if that's the way you got to eat those beef ribs, if you can't pick it up and got it tender enough to get a clean bite with it, and it's moist and tender, and the thing is, most people don't cook it long enough. That's why they wind up not having a good way you can bite them. When you eat a rib, whether it's a pork or a beef rib, and let's just say you're going out to eat them, I don't want them overcooked to where I can shake the plate and the meat fall off. If I wanted that, I just got pulled pork or pulled beef. I mean, if that's what I wanted. And I don't want it so damn tough I got to cut it off. I want to be able to pick up that bone and bite it, because that's what I paid for, is to have a bone.
All right. Is it because of that? So what do you pull your beef ribs at? What
210.
210?
210 internal.
Okay. All right. Hey, you heard it here first. Doobie cooks his brisket fat cap up. You can roast him on that.
Why you do that?
I was just taught that way. That's how I've been doing it since I was a kid.
But why? What is the benefit for it?
Well, for me, I'm on a stick burner, so I mean, if I was doing a direct cook, I would probably do fat side down. But
stick burner, the heat comes from where up? Don't stick burners, the heat still comes from bottom up?
Yeah.
Well, think about this a minute now. Reason I cook fat cap down is that heat's coming from the bottom up. 99% of the smokers out there today, I don't give a shit if it's tuning plates in them, reverse flow, whatever, that heat's coming from bottom up. I wanted to hit that fat cap first before and protect what I care about, which is the leaner part, where I'm going to get my slices.
Okay. Makes sense.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe that bullshit? If it's cooked upside down, fat cap on top, you believe all that fat's going to melt and go through the middle of that? Tell the truth.
I feel
Tell
like
the damn truth.
You've been summoned by the mayor.
I feel like it doesn't make a
If I
difference.
hadn't
I've
damn
cooked
told
it
you to
both
tell the
ways.
truth, you would have said, "Oh yeah, it does."
I mean,
You think 3 inches of damn fat's gonna melt and go through the damn brisket? You believe that?
I don't think. I mean, you got a layer of fat in between, anyway. So it would have to get through the whole layer anyway between the.
Let me tell you what's
flat
going
and
to
the
happen to that
point. So
fat.
I
The
don't
most
think
you
that
can hope
that's a
for
good
is
reason to do
it
it.
melts and runs off the side. The fat that you got in that brisket is what God already put there. There ain't none of that shit gonna melt through the center of it. And I don't give a shit what nobody's told you.
Hey, he ate you like a damn dino rib.
But you think about that just a minute now. That much fat, and you think, I don't give a shit if you cook it for 24 hours. You think that's going to melt and go through the middle of that damn piece of meat?
I don't think so.
Say no. Say no.
No.
I like to have something that ain't worth a shit so I can try to sell it to you.
You see,
Make bank.
You see,
Hey,
Doobie,
if your dad taught you to do fat cap up, I don't think you'd have the same argument.
Yeah, hey,
know?
Bill,
If your dad was the one who taught you that, I don't know if it would be the same thing. I feel like that's the way you learned. That's the way you learned. That's the way you perfected it.
So he didn't teach me that. We didn't cook briskets in South Georgia.
Okay.
I guess in your dad's time that probably wasn't a thing yet, was it?
I remember for the better part of my career cooking, I'd cook them some events, hog, shoulder, and ribs. Now in the O's, I started doing a lot more KCBS because it's just easier. I got done with it. I think the last time I ran for Team of the Year and got it was 08, 09. And then I was kind of just moved on and started doing more KCBS stuff. And then I figured out how to cook brisket. Had a guy from Texas taught me how to do a brisket. At a gas station right here in Perry, Georgia, about 9 miles north of me. I was there getting gas. This guy had seen me on a show and had started talking to me about barbecuing, and he gave me the basic of how he got his brisket. And it is totally away from what most people from Texas cook briskets. And he bottom line told me he cooked his hot and fast. And when he got them done, he slid them in an old sleeping bag. Well, I wrapped mine in blankets to let it rest. He said, you got to let it rest a couple hours to 4 hours. Went through all this in about 15 minutes at a gas station back in 07, 08. Guy from Texas. Now I'll give him credit for that. But you talk to a lot of people that's from that part of the world that's that low, slow, fat cap up, and he's the one that told me to cook fat cap down. And he's right.
Huh.
But if you argue, you'll get all kinds of damn arguments about why they do that shit, because
I feel like it's one of the most debated things.
Don't mean it's damn right either. Because most of the time you can go to somebody and say, why are you doing that? I don't know. I was at a contest and I saw so-and-so doing it over there. Then you go chase his ass or her ass down, ask her why. And I saw so-and-so last time I was at the Jack and they was doing this shit. Everybody gets in the same damn, in a ditch. We all walk in the same ditch in competition, trying to make it all taste the same, look the same, be the same. You used to, back in the day, you got rewarded for being different, for being unique, coming up with a better flavor profile or something different. The judges now don't want shit different. They want it all to be the goddamn same.
I still can't believe Bill got a perfect brisket cooking it upside down. To this day, I still can't believe that.
It wasn't upside down. Just the beholder.
Hey, Wednesday, this past Wednesday was lit, by the way. That was some damn good street tacos down in Cleveland, Tennessee, man. That was some good stuff down there. We love Bill. But hey, we haven't talked much about sauce. And one of the sponsors of this show is Branch Barbecue, Branch Sauce. This is another video. It's a little light. If you can't hear it, again, we'll repeat it for you. So just a heads up, you might have to listen a little bit closer.
Okay. So my question is a little hard to formulate, but I think I got it how I want to say it. What sauce do you use that's not your typical sauce for barbecuing that you think people need to be more aware of?
So what he asked, did you hear that? He asked what sauce is not really talked about in barbecue that should be. It's an underrated sauce. Do you use the one that, like, maybe not competition, but like a really good sauce that not a lot of people would use for barbecue that you would think of? Something off the record.
Well, I make my own sauces.
Yeah, so which one of yours?
Probably the most unique. I mean, we got several of them. I mean, I love my sweet heat mustard sauce, and I never was a big mustard sauce eater growing up, but it's very good. I believe it'd make anybody in the Carolinas in the mustard sauce area over there, it'd make them proud. Probably the most unique and is Good Bill's favorite would be our hog sauce, our hog, H-O-G, not hot. It's got vanilla in it. Got vanilla. It makes a whole lot of difference with it. It's something very unique. I haven't tasted anybody else's sauce that has that type of flavor profile. It's got vanilla in it, and it makes it very unique, and it's very complimentary to just about any kind of proteins.
Yeah, all right. Cherry Peach by Branch is very, very good for barbecue, and we do want to thank Chris over at Branch for making that question possible there. But no, and let's see, that blackberry sauce by yours though, Myron?
It's good.
I'm interested in that blackberry
I
sauce.
like the blackberry sauces. I mean, I got 150 plants or bushes here on the property. Blackberry is probably one of my favorite fruits. It's something you can have on keto. Not a bunch of them, but you can have it because it's not as sweet, because it's got more of a tartness to it. Love blackberry cobblers, which you cannot definitely have on keto. But it makes a good sauce, especially for chicken.
Okay.
That sounds good for sure.
I would use that blackberry. I've been using it. I got a blackberry hot sauce here lately, and I've been putting that on my brisket slices. And I'm telling you, that blackberry on that brisket was pretty delicious.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what's big for Myron coming up here this year? I know you've accomplished so when a guy that's the winningest guy in barbecue, right? You got successful businesses, you got your own line of smokers. In the world of barbecue, you've accomplished a lot. Is there anything that you still haven't quite tackled yet and mastered that you would like to in the rest of your career?
I mean, I want to get my sauces and rubs out in the more retail areas. With that being said, we got an opportunity right now. We're in Lowe's. Just went and done that deal last week.
Hey, congratulations!
And, got into our Lowe's, and I think that's going to work out. We'll be into all 1,700 stores. We're in I think it's going to wind up starting us out in 450 something of them. Next thing is probably more restaurants. I mean, I like the food service part of it. Not wanting to be a chain or anything, but I like to have a few more restaurants in key places. My motto is I try to live by as far as restaurants. Now, Florida's a different animal, so I don't call that south of the Mason-Dixon line. But I like to have a good restaurant down there. We're looking at right now a place maybe in Davie, Florida.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to work out yet or not, but that's a good location right there north of Miami in the Lauderdale area and that Miami area there. But in destination markets, one thing you learn, and I was the same way. I jumped out here in 2001, won my first world championship at a barbecue restaurant. Everybody wants them. First thing you do, you want to do your sauces and rubs. That ain't bad because most of the time you can sell that stuff. The next thing you wind up doing is you want to open up a barbecue place in your hometown. Well, that's fine if your damn hometown is New York City or, Chicago or wherever. But when you start, you do sentimental instead of business, opening it up in towns with 1,500, 2,000 folks, your ass going to starve to death. Because you got a certain price point, your locals that always have known you that they're going to pay. Regardless if it's world championship or not, they're just not going to pay X amount. So what I work by is never put a barbecue restaurant south of the Mason-Dixon line. And I can tell you why. Every damn body down here has got smokers and grills, and they all think they can cook better than any damn body else. And not saying you ain't got a lot of successful barbecue places in the Atlanta area. There's a ton of them. probably last time we checked, Atlanta metro area, it's probably over 700 of them right now. Now, why in the hell would you want to go wade into that? You know,
path of least
and I
resistance.
couldn't get some business, but I mean, it's not a good business decision. I mean, and a lot of times we let this make the decision instead of thinking about that and letting that make the decision for you. So, not saying just because you're in the north you're gonna knock a home run, but I feel like the northern part and the western part still have a lot of places that haven't been tapped yet for great barbecue.
All right. Hey, I will say that's not a bad thing because I know, like I said, up here, like I'm doing the KCBS next year. I was telling Bill, there's not even probably going to be 15 teams, and there's half of them came up.
Right.
You know, there's just not we got like 6-7 events across the whole state. Not going to be highly contested, not going to be highly competed because there's just not many teams up here. So it makes sense. I know, like I've even thought here in my hometown, a barbecue would work because there's the only one barbecue, and you can tell they throw them damn things in the oven, have to throw them in the smoker for an hour or two, give them a little flash of smoke, and then you're basically just crumbling them off the ribs because they probably pull them at 225, you know. So come on up, please, Myron. Come on, man. I know the mayor up here, man. I'll hook you up. Mayor to mayor connection up here. We'll get you in up here where I'm at. We'll get some damn good barbecue so I don't have to cook it for 12 hours on a Saturday. I can just go and get some damn brisket. Sorry, sensitive subject. I'm over. Anyways, Myron, thank you. Thank you.
Had a big time, guys.
Hey,
It was definitely awesome having you on. Thanks for giving us your time tonight, helping us kick off the weekend right, for sure. I know we had a lot of viewers in here tonight that enjoyed having you too, so hopefully we get you back on one of these days.
Yeah.
I love to be back. And anybody listening tonight, if I offended you, tough shit.
Hey, this ain't no place for sissies. This is the Dude Network. Hey, there ain't no Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman's on this platform right here. Hey, you're all loved. You're loved by everybody, Myron. Good. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on here. You're obviously welcome whenever the hell you want. I mean, let's just face it. Good luck the rest of this weekend. Good luck shaping the minds of the barbecue future. It's going to pay your Social Security one day, you know. So, I mean, you gotta really take care of them guys and get them up and training sharp so they can go out and make some money. So, hey, good luck tomorrow cooking 3 tons of beef and pork and chicken and turkey and gizzards and necks and collarbones. And I don't know what the hell a collarbone smoked would taste like, but I bet you would know. Dudes and dudettes, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the winningest man, and also probably the only one that's also a mayor of an American city that's established in Unadilla, Georgia, with Bill Wheeler beside him, Myron Mother Effin' Mixon.
Frickson Family Farms? Oh, there's definitely an app for that. Just go to your app store, type in Frickson Family Farms, and download that app so you can start ordering right away some of the best pork, beef, and chicken that's available out there to you. And yes, they'll ship it right to your doorstep, right from Dakota, Minnesota, home of Frickson Family Farms. Check them out at fricksonfamilyfarms.com. And you know what it is. Small town feels, big town deals. Let's go.